Hello guys, how's it going? It's Dmitry here, and today I would like to discuss about another really interesting topic. It's a topic of NaN and IsNaN. So, what is NaN? Obviously, NaN, it stands for not a number, and essentially according to JavaScript, it's a special property that belongs to a global object in JavaScript, and it represents not a number. So everything that is not a number will be represented by this property essentially. And yeah, obviously, and it's another method. Its method exists, and it's called IsNaN. And the idea of this method, it can check if a value is not a number. And so the most important thing to understand in case of this method, that first of all, when you pass in the parameter or the value to this method, the value is going to be converted to a number, and then the final value is going to test it if it's number or not, or for that's how it is. So I will show you guys some examples, because it's not as that obvious as it sounds, because there are some edge cases when this IsNaN method, it's a bit tricky to use it, and you have to remember about some cases where it's not really going to work, or you have to understand the behavior, that it's not that clear in some cases the way it behaves. Cool guys, let's jump into that. First of all, I would like to come up with this example. Const, let's define a variable, result equal to is none. So let's pass just string here, right? Let's pass like Dmitry, my name. So let's see what will happen. Console.log. And remember guys, it's this method, it should analyze if this value is number or not, right? So obviously it's going to give you true or false. It's going to give you a boolean value. So let's see what the result is. And result is true. So yeah, and obviously this is true, right? It's not a number, it's string. But guys, okay, this is not a number, right? What if it passed number? See? It's not a number. Yeah, it's not a number, right? And that's why it's false, which is also correct, right? It's working this way case. But what if we do that? Obviously it's a string right now. It's not a number, right? It should be true. Let's see what kind of result we will get. It's false, guys. So it's one of the edge cases, right? So obviously, based on what I said, this string, it's going to be converted to a number, and that's why the result going to be number 1212, right? Or 1212. So, and it's important to understand, guys, because from the first glance it looks like it's a string, right? Because yeah, that's how like string should look like, but it's not. In this case, it's not going to work this way. What about these guys? It's a real number, right? Or float. And result is the same, right? It's treating it as a number, right? It's converted it to number, even it's not a number, it's string right here, but it's going to be converted to number, and then compare it against number. If it's not number, then it will test if it's number or not, and the result going to be false, because it is a number in this case. because that's how IsNaN works. So other edge cases, I will show you guys. There are a couple of them. Let's define some of the variables. Okay, I'll call them R1, which stands for result 1, IsNaN, and I would like to say false. Just copy and paste. I guess it's going to be faster to do that. And so here we define as a true. Then I also would like to see undefined. And then what else? Null. Yeah, let's see what will happen in case of null. What will be the result? And now I would like to console them out, and I would like to say R1. Let's copy it and paste it. So R1, R2, R3, and R4. So guys, let's see what the result is going to be. So, okay, in case of false, it's false. In case of true, it's false. In case of undefined, it's true. And then in case of null, it's false. What's going on here, guys? It's crazy. It's confusing. So, okay, first of all, false. Guys, as you remember, false, first it will be converted to number, right? And false, if we convert it to number, it's going to be 0. And that's why we came up with false, right? Because 0, it's a number, right? And obviously the same going to be in case of true. But in this case, it's going to be converted to 1, and 1 is not a number. Sorry, and 1 is number. That's why it's false. Undefined, so undefined, essentially, if you convert it to number, so basically we will not come up with number, and as a result, it's going to be true, right? It's not a number. And null is going to be converted to 0. So, and that's why it's also false. So guys, these cases, these particular cases, you have to remember about them in order to avoid misunderstanding, right? Because if you go in, like, to define this kind of logic, and if you would like going to expect that the behavior is going to be true, it's not going to work this way, right? So you always have to remember about this kind of cases. Otherwise, if you forget about that for some reason, you have to test first, right? If it's working or not. That's what I do usually, if I forget about something. Okay guys, I covered everything that I wanted to cover in this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, please like this video if you like this tutorial. And yes, I see you guys next time in next tutorial. Thank you guys, goodbye.